Vanuit Australië deze kant op. Gisteren een prachtige partij. Een 6-4 overwinning op Justin Pipe met een gemiddelde van 109. Gooide al eens een 9-darter op het WK van 2014. The brand new Auckland Dartsmaster from Australia. The original K.Anderson. En dan zijn tegenstander een man die we goed kennen in Nederland. Hij heeft hier grote successen beleverd. Won al eens de IDL en de Zuiderduin Masters. Stond 2 keer in de finale van een WK. En hij won al eens een keer de World Masters. Als 16e geplaatst op de Dutch Darts Master. Time for the King, Mervyn King!
Average 99.94. But there was so much to admire about the way Anderson went about his business yesterday. Question marks about how he would follow on from his exploits in the World Series. And to some extent, there are 1 or 2 question marks about how he can back up yesterday's performance when he takes on Mervyn King here. It's a bit like following up your successful debut album. Can you do it all over again? Paul Nicholson, that's the question for K.Anderson today.
Absolutely. I think yesterday's performance was a definitely maybe for Oasis. And they followed up pretty well. Interesting to see what he's got today. Because the way that K.Anderson's been playing over the last
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
few weeks.
First leg, it's Kyle to throw first. Game on.
He is a marked man now. Make no mistake. People want to take him out. He's a scalp now. He's someone who's comfortable on any stage in the world doing exactly that.
We'll talk about setting the tone for the rest of the match and raising the bar. Anderson answering 1 or 2 questions already with an opening salvo of
92.
180. I mean, on a day when we've seen so many seeds lose already, I mean, it would be no surprise to see Anderson dismiss Mervyn King. 5 perfect darts out of 5.
180.
Well. K.Anderson has just answered all those questions completely now. It's just carrying on where he left off.
Well, he's got one very big question to answer right now is, can you... No. I didn't even finish my sentence. However, he's in a great position in this leg to take the lead very early on.
Yeah, just acknowledging the reaction of the crowd. He's on a potential 11-darter. It will be a hold of throw.
95.
It would feel so much more valuable if he could replicate that on the king throw next time around. Tops then. Might be a 12-dart leg here instead. Will return with king on 174 anyway.
80.
I'm not sure that he liked the lie there, K.Anderson, because he stepped back, and usually when it's above the bed he doesn't do that, so I think he just thought it was a
98.
Little precarious, so he just took his time with it. He's got the same target now, but with 3 darts in hand. Great marker.
Game shot on the
Great marker indeed.
K.Anderson.
Well, in the end,
so
I mean,
it's Mervyn to throw
6
first.
perfect darts.
Game on.
In the end, it was a 15-dart hold of throw, and it was quite tetchy towards the end, quite nervy, but Anderson is off the mark, 96. And that's the most important thing. Let's not lose sight of the fact, before we go too much further in this match, that, you know, Mervyn King was a finalist in this tournament in 2014, and a finalist,
100.
of course, in the most recent European Tour event as well, in Leverkusen. In fact, he made the semi-finals here last year as well. So the Merverts out there have every reason to believe he could give it a really good go this weekend, once again.
99.
I was talking to Joe Cullen when he came off stage, and he was a little bit relieved with his win over Jimi Hendrix. But he said, I hate August, having that month off, can't stand it, because he loses his sharpness. He felt that was a terrible performance, whereas a lot of people would really have liked those statistics that he put up in the last match. But Mervyn has told me not only on the journey over here, because I shared a car ride through the Channel Tunnel with him.
The Mervynville.
Absolutely. He said he feels incredibly rusty. He earmarked 3 exhibition matches in Ireland before this, and they all had to be rescheduled because of the Conor McGregor fight.
Nah.
So, as a result, let's see how rusty you really are, Merv.
Ooh, nudged the wire, didn't it?
Kylie require 161.
Now, will King return? That's the big question here. The answer is yes, he will.
89.
Well, hit the ball,
we know
25.
that Merv is going to go for 988 because he loves the bottom left corner of the board. 88.
17.
Well, that's almost uncharacteristic of Mervyn King. And Kyle Anderson.
16 for double 12.
66. Mervyn, you require.
And there's a little G up from the King there, just saying, come on, get into this match. Don't let him get a 2-0 lead. Double 2 to the left.
4 score.
Not that left, though.
Kylie requires 6.
Well, Anderson is
game shot on the
double 3
second
away, and double 3 is not a problem.
Third leg is Kyle to throw
is one
first.
that has certainly slipped
Game
away
on.
from Mervyn King. Anderson breaks for a 2-0 lead. Let's not forget also that Mervyn King is the European Tour champion too. He won the European Grand Prix 3 years ago, beat Michael Smith in the
140.
final. Made the final of the German Darts Masters in Sindelfingen in 2013. And the final, like I said, here, well not here, but of the Dutch Darts Masters
140.
in 2014 as well, losing to Michael van Gerwen, who incidentally potentially lies in wait for the winner of this one. MVG or Jeffrey de Zwaan
100
in the last 16 for the winner of this. As things stand, it will be Kyle Anderson going through, but Mervyn King, certainly a player capable of getting himself back into contention here. He's got plenty of nous. He's been in this situation time and time again.
Definitely a veteran now.
140.
Over the age of 50, but still playing sensational stuff. Still has the desire to win more. He still, like Steve Beaton, believes that there are more titles in his future. That's why he's still not hockey. Treble 17. Now Merv simply has to take this one out now. 81 left. Treble 19. Single 12. Double 13.
55.
And another one potentially slips through his fingers here. Double 9 for Anderson. Yeah, he used that first dart really well, didn't he? And in the blink of an eye almost, Anderson leads by 3 legs to 0. And Mervyn King has work to do here now. Yeah, 51 years old, Mervyn King these days. Kyle Anderson, by the way, turns 30 later this month, so in advance of that, Kyle, happy birthday.
The strange thing for me is that I've known about, and I've known Kyle for a while, but I knew about him a lot more before I met him, and it does feel like he's been around forever. Even before I moved to Australia, I knew about Kyle Anderson's exploits all around Australia, playing on the DFA circuit, winning titles in the youth system with his brother Bo, and the fact that he's only 30, that is brilliant for him, but it's kind of depressing for everybody else.
Just to put a bit more emphasis on how good Anderson was yesterday, we've said already that Pipe averaged 99.94. Pipe won 4 successive legs to lead 4-2, and they were really good legs. There was an 11 darter in there, a 13 darter as well, but it was the way that Anderson responded that really impressed me.
Mervyn, you require 81.
12 darter in leg 7, a 14 darter, an 11 darter, and then a 12 darter in which he hit 2 180s.
2 6s for Merv,
69.
and it seems like the rustiness that he was talking about earlier is on the outer ring. There's nothing wrong with the scoring. That's 2 legs in a row. He's left 81 after barely any darts at all.
Mervyn, you require 12.
Well,
game shot on the 4th leg. Mervyn King. Mid leg is Kyle to throw first.
At the 11th time of asking, he finds a double. and he finds the first leg.
The good thing is, he's on the board.
60.
So now he's running. And as you notice with K.Anderson's darts, he's got very long points. And sometimes that can prove as a massive ally to get the darts close together. But sometimes it can go against you because you get them so close together that you can't bounce them into the treble from above.
97.
Mervin's scoring over the last couple of legs has been very good. And his first start is starting to click.
101.6, the average 1 from 11 on the checkout, so you could argue the average has been distorted somewhat, but yeah, the scoring 60. Is there. The finishing, by and large, hasn't been there.
It's got the makings of a very unusual tournament. Unusual statistic for Merv to be 60. Under double figures for your percentage on checkouts, but so many seeds tumbling. We've still got tonight's session to look forward to. How many seeds are actually going to go through to tomorrow?
Well, 2 so far.
108!
Rob Cross and Joe Cullen, and it could well be that Mervyn King is the latest casualty. He needs to come from 3-0 down here. He's got 1 leg on the board.
99. Highly required.
No, but Mervin's thinking there. He wanted a 137 to leave 64, which puts him in the bottom left corner. This will put him at the top of the board. K.Anderson for 4-1.
That's bang in the middle. K.Anderson. So he likes Mervyn to throw first.
It's more like the finishing we witnessed yesterday from K.Anderson. Just that fluid movement around the board. We saw that time and time again yesterday.
140.
A sensational summer for K.Anderson, winning the World Series event in Auckland, having a week earlier secured his first PDC title at the 17th Players' Championship event. And it's with darts like that he was able to enjoy all this success. He had a 9-dart leg en route there as well against Ronnie Hybrex in the last 16. He beat Stephen Bunting, Michael Smith and Kevin Painter there on.
100.
Beat Gary Anderson again in Auckland. James Wade and Corey Cadby, who had a pretty impressive summer as well when he was called into the equation for the World Series.
99.
But you know, last year was pretty good for Anderson as well. You know, he reached the quarterfinals of 4 TV tournaments last year, K.Anderson. And many wondered whether he would, you know, better that this year, but he's certainly coming up with all the right answers, isn't he?
Well, I remember in Austria last year,
140.
He beat Van Gerwen, lost to Taylor in the later stages of that event. He probably should have won that tournament. Mervyn, bullseye for this leg.
102. Highly require 82.
I've got a bad feeling about this one for Merv.
Wow.
Treble 14, perhaps? Oh, hold on.
He's hit the 9. So, 73 away. Bit of a recalibration here.
My bad feeling was not on the mark. Because now Merv has a second crack in this match at 25. Will he get the double 8 this time?
Fluffed his lines earlier, but doesn't fluff his lines here.
7-legged Kyle to throw first.
Anderson, yeah, had the chance there for a 5-1 lead. Just got knocked off his stride by missing that, or straying into the 9.
It was an unusual call because I would
100.
say probably 19 out of 20 players would have gone for bullseye there, but he felt confident enough to go for the treble 14. It didn't pay off, but you hit the single 14, you leave 68.
100.
That means you're only giving yourself a shot at bullseye after a single. Whereas if you hit the 25, then 17 tops, it's a bigger target.
Yeah.
45.
I am not one to criticise from the commentary box because...
You're not criticising, just questioning it.
Yeah, just asking why.
Asking the question. Mervyn King also asking the questions here of K.Anderson, saying, can you respond to that little bit of pressure? Probably can.
95.
Can Mervyn muster the strength? Now, when he moves it to the right of the oche, he's the best in the world at this. The oche switch.
60.
And I gave him the hex there.
Yeah.
But he really is. Peter Wright and Mervyn King, both of the East Country, are masters at moving across the oche and finding angles.
100. Mervyn, you require 100.
All Mervyn wants now is to find 3 perfect darts one in the 60, one in the 51. He'll take a 60 now and hope
137.
that K.Anderson can't hit the shot that he has just missed.
161.
$84 remain.
93.
68 left.
Revenue required 24.
To get back in this match, this is vital. Double 12.
Yeah, and as we said, Mervyn King, when he was 3-0 down, I don't think even then he would have been panicking. He's been down this particular path so many times before. He's probably been in much worse situations, and he just thinks, okay, just get a leg on the board and we'll take it from there. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's got the break back. He's still, 4-3 down, but he's back on throw
81.
here. And he's making K.Anderson work a bit harder now. And that's exactly what Merv does.
95.
Well, Mervyn's been here probably with the cleaners this morning. He gets here very, very early. He's not one to just languish himself in the hotel room and just
99.
watch Netflix and be lazy that way. He likes to get to the venue and soak up the atmosphere and find, in a long practice session before a match,
140.
what it takes to win. And he knew before he even started today that he was up against it with Kyle after yesterday's performance.
$81.
Kyle has a chance to steal this leg. 57 will leave 170.
58.
But now that opportunity is gone.
And Mervyn King can just press on here, and he can do so
140
in style as well. Trims it down to a flat ton. That's okay.
Don't be surprised if Mervyn hits a single 20 going for this ton, that he will go
125.
treble 16 on the second dart.
Require 100.
He will hope that he hits the 60 first.
Which he doesn't.
Treble 16.
Yeah. Ooh, and he wasn't far away either.
84.
Did find it with his final dart in hand.
83.
Now then, K.Anderson to break back straight away here. 83 required. Yep, that's nice indeed. So that leaves double 9.
Game shot on the 8th leg. K.Anderson.
And K.Anderson
9th leg is Kyle to throw
just
first.
underlining what a class act he is right now. Great versatility.
We do talk about the gamble shots, and on 83, single 17 leaves 66. That's why they go for the 16.
140.
16 leaves bull, but the way he was feeling, he thought, I can hit that treble and hit double 9.
66.
Put himself in a very strong position now, K.Anderson. K.Anderson is a man who has beaten Michael van Gerwen on the European stage before at that tournament in Vienna last year. Mervyn, however, is one of those guys who can reel off 3 legs in a flash, and he will hope that he can do that.
99.
Well, he has to, and he could have done with another treble there to give himself the best possible chance. As it is, K.Anderson has a cushion of 68 plus these, and it could be a lot more as well.
140.
Yeah, closing in now. Step in the right direction. Mervyn King has to find a significant response here.
140. Kylie require 128.
You can just tell from Mervyn's face that he knew that he needed all 3 trebles. Single 19 will now leave a double 16. Mervyn has to hope that Kyle misses that double and that he gets one more chance.
100.
The way K.Anderson's playing right now, he is not giving too many chances to his opponents. He is looking at double 16 for a place in the last 16. K.Anderson
and the match
with his first dart in hand for a 13 darts hold of throw to wrap things up by 6 legs to 3. And I tell you what, he will not be fearing any potential encounter with Michael van Gerwen in the last 16 tomorrow, should the world number 1 and the 3-time defending champion get through his encounter against Jeffrey de Zwaan later. Van Gerwen, by the way, one of 3 former winners of the Dutch Darts Masters on stage tonight from 7 o'clock. We've also got Kim Huybrechts against Christian Kist. Simon Whitlock will be with us as well against the former world Championship finalist Kurt Shepard. But the action gets underway at 7 o'clock local time with Benito van der Pas against Nathan Aspinall. Plenty to look forward to. Only 2 seeded players going through in the afternoon session. The rest of the top seeds had better watch out tonight, because if the unseeded players maintain this, it could well be a very, very interesting session and a very interesting weekend indeed. Join us again from 7 o'clock.
Today.
Okay, all right, cool.
Well, you played awesome again, didn't you? Mervyn missed a few doubles in the beginning, but you took your chance, and that's the big difference, I think, lately.
Yeah, I felt comfortable coming into the game. I think I felt a bit too comfortable. No disrespect to Merv, but the way I played last night, I felt comfortable. I could do it again. And in practice for him, I felt like I was on par for it again.
Then you come up on stage, first 6 darts, 180, 180.
Yeah, like I said, I was throwing well backstage and came up here straight away, and I felt good. So I just wanted to keep it going, but it fell apart halfway through.
Now we're going to talk next round, tomorrow afternoon. You're going to be playing a Dutchman. That's going to be pretty tough in this crowd, I think.
Oh, not really. I played against Mensa in Austria, so I know what it feels like. So I'm just coming up, ready to play my game, and whoever it is, I'm ready.
Dames en heren, hij speelt fantastisch darts op dit moment. Geef een ongelooflijk applaus. Hij is door naar de volgende ronde. K.Anderson!